lyrics for class. Rap lyrics for class. We got rap lyrics for class. Rap lyrics for class. We got the rap lyrics for class. Welcome to Rap Lyrics for Class. I'm your host, Miss Kameelah Waheed, where we bring you some of the dopest songs, legendary classic, hip-hop, and we invite guests on to help us analyze the meaning, the messages, and to also look at literary approaches that artists have taken. And this week we have my young boy from, I don't even know where to say you from now. You all over, you globetrotting. Philadelphia, North Carolina. Right now, he's over on the West Coast, California, one of my favorite places. But welcome to the show, Huego LaFay. What's up, Hugo?
I'm chilling. How you doing? How you doing?
Well. I'm here. I'm living. I'm breathing. You know, celebrating life.
Exactly. Same. I'm out here in California, just learning the craft, mastering what I do, trying to get better, every day.
Okay. So you're an MC, you're a writer, you're a father. I heard you've been doing some acting. Did I miss anything?
My husband.
Okay. So you killing the game. You hitting in all angles, right?
Definitely.
Well, today I want to get right into it. It's a lot of things that we want to talk about. The song that we're going to analyze is good. It's good stuff, man. It's for me. I hear a lot of passion in that song. I hear a lot of speaking truth to power in that song. So I really want to jump into that. So I just want to set my objective for today, and hopefully we'll have some young people viewing this from middle school to high school level. And, we got a lot of hip hop artists out there. So I want to make sure, at least from what I can do, is that I give them the opportunity to hear songs that they might not hear every day on the radio, or just, that pool that they're plugged into right now. And this song right here is a classic. And I want to look at it from a writer's perspective. So if this is for our hip hop artists out there, any kind of artist, writer out there. Because when we hear songs, this is a song, but actually you have these MCs are poets. They're writers. You understand? So I'm going to break that down a little bit. So my objective for today is to analyze systems that disproportionately affect marginalized groups, and also to discover writing styles and literary tools used in hip hop. So the question, we're going to go back to this question after we listen and we talk a little bit. How do we disrupt the school to prison pipeline that largely affects communities of color? So we're going to keep that in mind and come back to that, and we're going to take a good listen to Meek Mill's his song Trauma, which tells the story of a young man who finds himself in a cycle that impedes his progress as a businessman, as a father, as a human being. And like I said, I feel like he's speaking from emotion and experience and passion. And I wonder if his last incident with the system was the catalyst that led Meek Mill to being a stakeholder and founder of movements like the Reform Alliance, which also includes Jay-Z and some other heavy hitters in the industry. So, that's the objective today. Let's just jump right into it and take a listen to the song Trauma by Meek Mill.
Used to be a dreamer, but you know I found.
My mama used to pray that shit, see me and yell. It's f***ed up, she gotta see me in jail. On a visit with Lil Poppy, it hurt even though I seen it be well. They got a smoker with a kid in my cell, damn. And even worse, my judge black don't wanna see me do well. It's either that or black people for sale. Gave me 2 to 4 years like your life. Meet me in hell and let it burn like Lucifer. You look even stupider trying to press them people in power with power abusing us. For $44 an hour, you coward, they using you. Was it self-hate that made you send me upstate? This where the so-called real sweeping up for cupcakes and extra phone time. If you ain't got no money, you ain't online. Can't call your son, call your daughter just to wish him on prime. Oh God, don't let them streets get a hold of him. Your daughter now, it's gonna be a cold summer. Your son trapping and your homie giving those to him. And if you that that paper up, be putting holes through 'em. And you just wanna make it home so you can show it to 'em. And them people ain't finna get no parole to you, they want blood. We all hanging with a noose on our neck. My celly mom just died, he wanna use my collect. And he won't make it to the wake unless he give him a check. We still though, what you expect? I was on the corner with the reef. And they got us warm for our freedom. See my brother blood on the paper. How you wake up in the morning feeling evil? Trauma. When them drugs got a hold on your mama. And the judge got a hold on your father. Go to school, bullet holes in the life. Ain't no PTSDs, them drugs keep it at ease. They shot that boy 20 times when they could've told him just freeze. Could've put him in a cop car, but they let him just bleed. The ambulance, they coming, baby, just breathe. That's what the old lady said when she screamed. It's a nightmare on M Street, Friday the 13th. And in the 13th Amendment, it don't say that we kings. It said we legally slaves if we go to the Bing. They told cats, stand up, you wanna play for a team. And all his teammates ain't saying a thing. Stay woke. If you don't stand for nothing, you gon' fall for something. And in the 60s, if you kneel, you'll probably be killed. But they don't kill you now, they just take you out of your deal. Kill your account, look what money gets spilled. Check it. They don't kill you now, they just take it out of your deal. Kill your account, look what money gets spilled. I was on the corner with the reef. And they got us warm for our freedom. See my brother blood on the paper. How you wake up in the morning feeling evil? Trauma. When them drugs got a hold on your mouth. And the judge got a hold on your father. Go to school, put a holes in the life. How many times you send me to jail to know that I won't fail? Invisible shackles on the king, I'm on bail. I went from selling out arenas, now I'm on sale. Them cold nights starting to feel like hell. Watching a black woman take my freedom almost made me hate my people. When they label you felon, it's like they telling you they not equal. 11 years going to court, knowing they might keep you or drive you crazy. 23 hours in a cell, somebody save me. I'm on a jail card trying to explain it to my baby. I gotta do the calendar twice and that's a maybe. Drama. I was on the corner with the reef. And they got us warm for our freedom. See my brother blood on the paper. How you wake up in the morning feeling evil? Trauma. When them drugs got a hold on your mouth. And the judge got a hold on your father. Go to school, bullet holes in the life. Trauma.
Yo, that's heavy. That's heavy right there, man.
The whole song, like all the way through, is heavy. Major statement, major key.
Yeah. So let's start off. Let's look at it from a literary perspective. Like, what writing style does he take on, and why do you think he's chosen that approach?
It seemed to me as though, like, it's from his perspective, it's like first person. It would be more so first person. Reason why, because those statements that he made were geared towards himself. His whole incident, him being incarcerated for popping a willie and stuff like that. His son having to come to see him in jail with his mom. Like, those were like first person type of statements. I mean, he drifted off and did like second person statements and stuff like that, but it was more so geared around him, his own experience.
Right. I feel like it was a narrative approach as well. You know, telling like you said, telling his story. And you know, I wanted to zone in on that for our writers out there. When you're writing, because we're just talking about the writing pieces here that you can consider when you're writing. And you know, sometimes you just flow and you just start writing, it comes out how it comes out. But you know, you kind of want to narrow down into, is this going to be a narrative, me telling a story? Am I trying to persuade somebody about something? Or am I just giving information? Or maybe it's a combination. And we talk about figure of speech a lot in literacy. And you know, I try to think I know what every word means and stuff, but now I need some clarity on some of that. So one of the lines that stuck out to me, and I was like, all right, what do you mean by that? It's like they got a smoker with a key to my cell. Now, figure of speech, break that down for me. Like, what you talking about right here?
This is not my track, but I give it a shot. But
okay.
I have been in that position where I had to go to the jail or whatever. I had to go to jail. And like what I noticed is that those people who have a key to the cell, the COs they call them, they're regular people, and they have regular lives. And he may have experienced seeing that person on the street, drugs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Somehow, him being this public figure, he's incarcerated now. Like he looks at himself like a king, and he's incarcerated now. And now this person that does drugs, who I know does drugs, has a key to the cell. Like that's just showing like how he's all the way up there and how he's now all the way down here.
Got you. That makes a lot of sense. And you right, they're like they're regular people kind of, and it's almost like they're the middleman, especially if they're from the community. A lot of people from the community, you end up seeing being the COs and helping to run the jails, and then sometimes they come back into the community or see their family members in there. So I know that's a tough line to toe right there. What's the most visual line in this song for you?
To me, it's the hook. It's actually the hook encompasses. He did a great job with pretty much allowing the hook to sum up the whole story. Like I think he said something about how he see his brother's blood on the pavement.
Yeah.
That like how you wake up in the morning feeling evil, like the trauma, like the word trauma that he uses, like that's what it embodies. Like that's traumatic that see your brothers bleeding or see your brothers struggling or are constantly struggling, never winning, always fighting to get ahead, and that's traumatic. So that's the most visual for me.
Because that's a well painted picture, because like you said, the blood, because when they said, like, I wasn't looking at the video, I haven't even saw the video, but I could just picture, blood stained corner, and I like when the visual, I can make it up in my head and see what it looks like for me from my experiences and perspective. So why do you think it's important as writers, and as listening to your stuff, you write with vision too, you let people, you bring it to life through your words, but why do you think it's important as a writer, students just even turning in assignments, writing assignment, to use visual writing?
It's more stronger than just, I would say, it's more stronger that way. Your message is received better when it has relevancy to it. Like when it has those type of characters to it, and people can, like you said, picture it. Yeah. And they've seen something similar to it before. So now it's pulling them in even more because it's relevant to them. So if you're like a new writer, like it's definitely great to implement the tactic of being able to paint the picture with your words. Like get close to as much as possible, because it's not that much time in the 16, but get close to being like very close to painting the picture as much as you can. Okay.
Yeah, because you're telling a story, and just like when you're reading books, the authors, they use vivid words and adjectives. So, like, take from what you've been learning from 3rd, 4th, 5th grade and use those same skills and techniques and use that in your writing. So, yeah, I agree with visual, writing is very, very important.
You got more space, but with music, you got only a certain amount of time to capture your audience. You gotta convey that quickly.
Yeah, so that separates, the good writers from somebody that's just gonna, just throw something together. Take your time with it. Now, the story that he's telling, because we established he's speaking from narrative, first person telling his story. What is the overall message in this song, in your opinion?
In my opinion, like, all right, you can say like it's based around his case, but his case isn't the only one of its kind. So he's able to pull pieces from our land, being a black man, being a black father, being a so-called black man, and being subject to certain rules. He was basically basing the story around his experience, going to jail unlawfully for something so petty, and he combined that story with the whole, like, he did a very great job with combining with everybody's everybody's experience. He made that relevant because we all experience something or some caliber of that quote unquote United States mentality. We have experienced that. We watched it, we've seen it all our life. So he did it. I think it was based around his experience as well, and ours as a people.
Okay. So the overall message is, I guess, a narrative of what's happening to people like him that look like him or come from a background like his. Okay. All right. Choose a verse from this song and explain that in your own words. I know you explained the overall just now, but just narrow in a little bit more for me. If you was breaking it down, it could be a verse, yeah.
I like how he opened up the first verse. Like the first verse drew you in. Okay. It was him. He opened up with like, my mom wanted to see me go to Yale, but there's no fact you gotta see me in like jail. So like that conflict right there was like, was very eye-catching. Like his son, like he referred like again to the father aspect of the song. He had to see him in there. It also touches on the fact that he had to explain to his son, like on a kid's level, like how long I'm gonna be in here. Like, and a baby mentality says, just listen, I gotta do the calendar twice. A baby only knows like the months, but he leveled it to the child's perspective and said, listen, I just gotta do the calendar twice. That was dope. That was cool.
Yeah. I peeped that, but I didn't even realize he was saying that to his son. I thought he was talking about saying that to his girl. But yeah, that would be, I guess, the easiest way to explain that to a kid. And I can imagine there's a lot of those conversations going on when we get caught up in the system, because once you get in, it's hard to get out. And I tell my kids at school that all the time: be careful of the split decisions you make, to people that you hang around, because once you in, it's very, very hard to get out.
Unless you know something else. But like that, the whole song was like that. Like that whole song was creative like that. I like the whole song. Like even the part, because I can, it's relevant to me. You know, fighting for the phone, you fighting for the phone in there. Like, come on. As simplistic as a phone call, you really be fighting it for a phone call in there.
It's you know, definitely a whole nother culture, and unfortunately, like you said, a lot of, you know, people we know and those communities deal with that. Now, you said it's relevant to you. So, it would be irrelevant to you. If you could add 4 bars to that song, what would they be? Put you on the spot a little bit.
I feel like these suckers want my soul. They like me when I'm at my lowest. But I got so many skills, you can't stop me. I was chose. Strike a pose. I watched as many slept on me and then watch it. I said, I watched as many slept on me and then wipe your nose. I'm getting closer. Now you rocking, I suppose. Like, look, I told you where I was headed. I watched you freeze. I've been counting out my whole life. I'm about to eat. Make a happy meal, no stress. You tricks get teased. Watch me double up. Stock it, invest it where you can't reach. We stay strong. We learn to bob and weave. We build a team or you won't play long. Keep a couple beams in case you reach. Weapons stay drawn. I'm from where they die every day. Where you get lined up just so they can stay where you stay. Like something like that. Right.
So if I mean, a lot of times people take the approach, like you said, first person, and telling your story, speaking from experience and being open is a way I think that writers can really draw an audience in, and that's how you kind of build your tribe, right? It- so how does this song personally? How do you relate to the song through your personal experiences, if you want to share?
Honestly, cuz like going in there, being in that place for, I guess you could say, like the same type of reason, unlawfully being taken somewhere where it shouldn't have gotten to that point. Like that's why I can relate with that. Like it shouldn't have gotten to that point for him per se, because he was just riding a bike.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, for me per se, I was exercising the Constitution, the things that everybody's supposed to abide by. So I was in there unlawfully. He was in there unlawfully. Um, it's just a fight. It's like an uphill fight, and his music sounds like just like that, where we got an uphill fight. Like he's a great ambassador for that, after he got to experience being incarcerated unlawfully. He's a great ambassador for what he's doing as far as reform. Like, as he got to see it, he got to see the pettiness and crap that the crap that got him in there. Like, so yeah, like
Right, and he's doing something about it. Do you notice, like, when you write from that perspective of your real experiences versus when you just spitting, you get more more attention, or more people asking about that real experience that you that authenticity.
I do recognize that tracks that I make with more of my experience in them, they do get more like feedback because of the energy I put into them. I recognize, like, as recording and writing, like the energy that you put into them are real and people are going to feel that. So like I try to stay closer to all of my experiences. Like I rarely write outside of my experience. I'm saying only
Okay.
because of that. I
So it
only
sounds
write
like.
of
Go ahead.
my
I'm
own
sorry.
experience. I barely even listen to people. I don't even listen to other people's music.
Mm-hmm.
Like 8 times out of 10, I don't listen to people's music.
Okay. And why is that?
I listen to it because I want minimum influence as possible. Because it's my story. I want to tell my story, and I don't want nobody to be like, you sound like, or it like you got that from somewhere. I got valid checkpoints all around me. People know that I don't listen to music or other people's music. My influences were earlier, as far as like Lauren and Pac and all my influences to listen to music at that age were earlier. Uh, I don't see no reason to read anybody else's book yet.
Got you. All right. So it sounds like, for a person out there that's a writer, you telling us to make sure that you're finding a lane when you're coming into the writing. Are you doing first person? Are you mixing up narrative? Are you trying to persuade somebody in your song? We talked about visuals, making sure you're painting that picture. The more um, adjectives and visual words you use, the more attention you'll get and people drawn into it. And also be open. Tell your experience. That's the songs that you're going to get more feedback from, because it's real and people recognize real. Sounds cliche, but people recognize real, right? You also picked out some of the verses and lines in the song that stood out to you and why they stood out to you. So I think that's a good package. That's some good advice, y'all, to go ahead and when you really ready and you think you're going to write, you're going to be a rapper, singer, or songwriter. These are some things that you might want to consider when you're doing it. Also, like your metaphors, your personifications, onomatopoeia, all those things, they count. Busta Rhymes is the master of onomatopoeia. Wow, got you all a check, right? So those things, just keep that in mind when you're writing. And when you are going through an experience, like you saying, you can relate to Meek from that experience. So you might listen to Meek Mills because you relate to it, you understand, and not that you want to take from that, but you can be inspired by it. It's like I said, how you building your village. But let me ask you, what's the best piece of advice someone has given you, and what advice would you give to students who are seeking to be better writers or seeking some type of career in the music business?
Hmm. The path is it's flooded with a lot of talented individuals. They told me to pretty much like stick to what you know, like stick to what you know and build from there. Like it's difficult trying to be somebody else. Like don't even put yourself in that category of trying to keep up with being somebody else, because some people barely know themselves. So find what you like and keep adding to that. Keep adding to yourself. Stay there and keep adding to it. That's going to allow you to advance in your environment. You're not trying to beat nobody. In competition, you're going to be in competition with yourself. Like that's your competition.
I like that piece of advice. Just be yourself, stay true, and just keep building on you. Awesome, awesome. What's next for Huego LaFay, and where can people find you? What's next?
Well, you can find me on IG as at Huego_LaFay. I spell it HUEGO underscore LAFAY.
Okay.
And that's everywhere. You can Google it and it'll show you everything. But next for me, a TV series. I'll be in Philadelphia shooting a TV series. I'm out right now doing the music and stuff like that. But I like acting too, so I got a actual I need a main character role in a TV series called BOS. I can't give away too much more, but it's called BOS, Brotherhood of Silver. You can find it on IMDb.
I know them guys. I know them. Denny Brown. I know them. They my peoples from Jersey. Okay. Tell them you know Kameelah Waheed. All right, all right. We went to school together. Okay. That's what's up. I'm happy for you, man. Happy for you. Any last words for our young people out there listening?
Yes. Nationalize. Please nationalize. It's a great thing that's happening. We are all nationalized.
All right. Now, for our younger people that might be over their head, you know, I told you I meet them where they are. For our younger people that's just looking to be rappers.
But that's it. You'll see it, you'll hear about it, just research it.
Okay. So don't believe what people tell you. Research. Research, research, research. Thank you, Huego LaFay. Rap Lyrics for Class. Again, Huego LaFay representing Philadelphia and North Carolina. Can't wait to hear some more of your music coming out. Great artist, great MC, just a great dude all around. Thank you for coming, and we out. I want to give a shout out to the team working, the team, Jay on video. We got Joe, you met Joe, executive producer, Lamont J, I believe she's usually on, and Brendan on engineering. We're doing what we do. Rap Lyrics for Class. Peace. Rap Lyrics for Class. Rap Lyrics for Class. We got Rap Lyrics for Class. Rap Lyrics for Class. We got the Rap Lyrics for Class. Rap Lyrics for Class. Rap Lyrics for Class. We got